Like you say, Joe, it's a little too early to gauge the Yankees at this juncture. It's the first couple weeks in the season. They're off to a slow start. Injuries are partly to blame for that, but other things are too. And we'll see what happens when the schedule gets to May and June and see what the record is. Besides, if anything, the Red Sox have more reason to panic at the moment now. Their record's worse than the Yankees, along with a few other teams that should be in the playoff hunt. But again, see what happens when the schedule goes further. And good luck doing a sabermetric segment for next week. It's a topic that gets a whole giant can of worms open. It can be very daunting to go into at the beginning. I'd be curious what you think about sabermetrics saying that a starter shouldn't face a batting order the third time through, or that if you throw someone else before the starter for the first couple batters, that starter will have an easier time. And whenever you do your sabermetrics, I'll probably follow up with mine. So let's join this together. Speaking of joining together, uniforms, because you told me to talk about uniforms, specifically the Jets. Now, for those who don't know, the Jets are retiring their jersey from the last 20 years, which is a retro uniform based off their uniform when they changed from the New York Titans to the New York Jets. They're still keeping that as an alternate jersey, sort of. It's a slight redesign. But their new home uniform will be black with green stripes. And the road uniform will actually not change that much either. Now, Joe, I know you don't like this uniform. You hate this uniform. I kind of like it. I've always felt that black is a good jersey color, and I'm surprised more teams don't really do it. Saying that, it might not be a surprise that I think the Colorado Rockies have some of the best uniforms in sports. Tricky thing that the Jets will have to navigate, though, is that they are retiring for the second time their original classic colors. And that, as you are experiencing now, Joe, has a divisive thing with the fan base. These are the colors that this team has been known for many years, and then it was brought back again, and now for the second time they're gone and replaced with something experimental. So it remains to be seen how they treat the alternate jersey, which is their old classic jersey, and see how the new jersey fares once they actually start winning, which is actually the big thing to hear, that it doesn't matter if they change the jersey color. If they don't win, they're still going to hate it no matter what. Now in Miami, you have the opposite problem. The Marlins are retiring their most recent jersey, which was supposed to be their breath of fresh air in their new digs in Miami, and are now going for sort of a retro classic style uniform, even though the Marlins have never had one to that effect. Sure, their first uniform, the teal and white, looked like a nice classic jersey from the 90s and such, but then they quickly moved away from that after about 5-10 years. The most recent iteration before this year actually being a color explosion of sorts. But now they're going back to a jersey that looks like something that they would have if the Marlins were a team that existed back in the 50s or 60s. Nice retro style lettering, the classic white and gray colors. Things that you would think would be on a Major League Baseball team. If anything, baseball is the more classic sport, so it should embrace that heritage, even for a team that never had such heritage. That said, their alternate uniforms are a little, gaudy. By the way, quick aside before I wrap up, the St. Louis Cardinals bringing back Victory Blues as alternate Saturday road uniforms. I like it. That is a classic uniform. The fans love it, and they will eat that stuff up. Expand it to more games, if you will, even home games. But that's how I think. Joe, what do you think? Well, you probably will still think the same thing about the Jets, so that won't change. I'll see you next time.